Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1013, directed by Ryota Nakamura and supervised by Masayuki Takagi. I was already a fan of Yamato's backstory with Ace in the manga, so I was looking forward to how the anime was going to handle things. And with director Ryota Nakamura in charge of it all, who you all may know as the co-series director with Nagamine in the Tournament of Power arc in Dragon Ball Super, as well as the director of episode 850 in One Piece terms, said content will be made even better with his expertise in both action and emotional storytelling that we've seen in his work before. Wrapped all up with the polished yet intense corrections from Masayuki Takagi, and we can confidently jump right into this here episode to see what it really has to offer, because they were a little bit coy with the editing of the preview. With past Ace content and surprisingly future content related to Yamato's past being part of this here offering, will episode 1013 be, well, heat? Let's fan the flames and find out. This episode covers the remaining pages not covered last week of chapter 998 and the first 7 pages of chapter 999. And man, they weren't kidding when they referred to the episode as anime original, because for the most part this is basically entirely different from how the manga went about things. Going as far as extending the fights with Ace and Yamato to incredible lengths, and specifically making it so Ace's crew is largely out of the picture while their second match starts, which allows the battle to feel more personal in regards to how Ace feels about not only his own father but Yamato's mixed feelings towards their own, which is made more sentimental by getting rid of some of the beast pirates who were looking on who were present in the manga despite Kaido being out on a mission with them all, allowing Yamato to have that moment of recollection and thought which leads to them destroying the prize dragon at the entrance. Top that all off with it making the following conversation with the two so much sweeter, especially when they talk about Luffy, and the content here just feels so much more whole than it ever did in the manga, and that makes me overall buy the relationship between these two even more with the dots now fully connected. And when any flashback to previous anime content is used extremely sparingly and simply to heighten the story more than anything, you can tell how smart the staff, but specifically Nakamura, was when bringing this content to new heights, which absolutely shines through in his storyboard as well. Since it's the guideline of your episode, the storyboard should always be good to begin with. And I'll let it be known that Nakamura here didn't just have an insane visual spectacle of a board, but one that used resources extremely smartly as well. It's one thing that the board is already chock full of so much insanely colorful and beautiful scenery, intense action that gets right down to the thick of it and isn't afraid to use flurries but well done ones at that, which tells me that the board was likely very detailed in that area since the episode doesn't have too many action powerhouses, and when it does, it's always competent. But it's also full of an emotional core that is expected from Nakamura after seeing his previous work, which can instantly be felt when Yamato is pondering about Ace's words to them in the second battle when they gaze upon the silver dragon that mentally turns into their father attacking them, which makes them flinch because of all the abuse that they've had to go through. Doing what I absolutely love by telling a story in such little words and mostly through visuals. And when combined with a smart selection of reused cuts of animation here and there to be repurposed in new and visually cool ways along with the new stuff, along with just always knowing when to put the kibosh on things, as many shots end up being used a couple different times but it's never annoying, partially thanks to the intense and angular expressions from supervisor Masayuki Takagi, 1013 ends up being everything that I ever hoped it could be. As a huge fan of Nakamura's work, it was no question that I was going to enjoy this one. But even knowing that, there's still such a solid understanding of not only Oda's work within it, but also the technical side of things as well, that I absolutely appreciate seeing and is a clear sign of the director's talent. And while of course it can't all be attributed to Nakamura because there's a bunch of other staff that make decisions too, like the scriptwriters, but as the leader of it all, he wrapped it up with an awesome bow that makes this one of my favorite Onigashima episodes, no question. And obviously in between one like this and the long-awaited adaptation of chapter 1000, it's no surprise why next week's episode 1014 looks just okay. With Masahiro Shimanuki involved in the work of both Kazuya Hisada and Yoichi Mitsui being obvious in the preview, it's obvious that this episode is scrounging for staff because more important ones are on the way. So we'll just have to wait and see how it'll fare in the grand scheme of things with what looks like a bit of the usual staff. Anyways guys, it's it for now. I'm Skippy, and Yamato really is adorable.